I'm Bella, Bells if you're ballsy, and welcome to Bad Touch. While you read this legal disclaimer, let me tell you a little bit about Bad Touch. Bad Touch is a monthly sexual education information and advice column in conjunction with the Steam Room, published in Belladonna Horror Magazine, produced by the Horror Honeys. Bad Touch is your source for fun, safe, intersectional, and non-judgmental sexual education, because it's fucking important. And now, without further ado, the first ever episode of Bad Touch, and the first in a series I like to call the ABCs of Sexual Education. A is for anal. And if you don't know who Kurt Vonnegut is, please educate yourself. I'll wait. Part 1. Analatomy. Most people know that their anus is where the poop comes out. But beyond that, they are clueless. So this is my very quick and dirty introduction to your ass. The anus is the entry to the anal canal. The anal canal is about 1 to 1.5 inches deep. The poop does not live here. Passing a small set of muscles, or a sphincter, the anal canal gives way to the rectum. The poop could live here, but if it does, you should be in the toilet by now. Past the rectum is the sigmoid colon. The poop lives here, but don't worry, it's separated by a kink in our anatomy, so the likelihood of you reaching the sigmoid colon and the poop is slim to none, monster dongs and all. Part 2. Cleanliness is close to analness. Preparation for anal isn't something you're always able to do, but if anal is something you always do, be sure to eat a diet with a good amount of fiber to keep you regular. Wipe your bottom and take a goddamn shower. Clean your anus and your anal canal. Seriously, stick a finger in your butt. It has never hurt anyone, it feels amazing, and it'll provide that extra spick and span for your foray into the dark side. Douches are not necessary. If you feel the need to douche, be sure to do it a day or two in advance, and make sure you do your research. There are different kinds of anal douches available to you. As an FYI, the safest way to stay as clean as possible during anal play is by using a condom or a dental dam. Part 3. Putting the D or the T or the F in the A. Your anus has more nerve endings in it than the head of your penis or your clitoris, so it's very sensitive and very pleasurable. Whether you're using a dick, a dildo, finger, tongue, fist, or foot, you gotta lube it up. Tubes of lube, not porn star lube. Spit is not lube. The lining of the anus is incredibly porous and absorbs moisture like a thirsty stone. In order to make insertion easier, remember, lube, 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 and more lube. A note about anal to anywhere? Don't go anal to anywhere. Seriously, I don't care what movie you've watched or what song you've listened to, you never go ass to mouth, and you never go dick in ass, finger in ass, foot in ass, hand in ass to vagina. Your anus is full of bacteria that no matter how clean you get, like to stick around and wait for the potential to give your other orifices a run to the doctors. So be smart, be safe, and I don't want to hear about your yeast infections later, or worse, your salmonella. Part 4. Anal sex is sex. Here's a little religious debunkery for you folks. Anal sex is sex. So if you're thinking that heaven is still right around the corner for you dirty ass, you're wrong. Additionally, having anal sex will not protect you from STDs, so be safe, use protection, and get tested, period. Also, if done properly, anal sex should not hurt and should not cause minor or major medical issues, perhaps with the exception of loosening your bowels for your morning BM, which is more of a service, I like to think. Now that you've gotten a bit of analcation under your belt, let me tie off my sexual educator corset and strap on my sexual advisor, strap-on. There's no sex in the back door rooms asks, I like anal sex, but it is the slowest process ever building up to it, and sometimes it can get real uncomfortable very suddenly. How does one build up to having anal sex more comfortably and easily? Can one do such a thing? Good news, BDR, you've come to the right place regarding your anal conundrum, because I, too, love anal sex. Building up to a lot of things sexually can be a slow process and can often become uncomfortable. Unfortunately, anal is definitely high on that list. Fortunately, one can move it much further down the list, and I'm going to tell you how. One of the best things about having sex is having it, but also communicating about it. So first and foremost, if your anus goes into lockdown mode at the moment of unplanned anal, be sure to talk about it first. For a lot of people, sex isn't just physical, it's mental. And I'm not saying your ass has a mind of its own, but it just might. So first, talk up your butt banging. If you're psyched about it from the get-go, the getting in and going won't be so hard. Secondly, and it's the most important thing to remember about anal sex, anuses are not self-lubricating. Go back and listen to the anatomy section again. I'm pretty sure I covered that. You are going to need copious amounts of lube. And again, I'm not talking porn star lube. Spit is not lube. I'm talking tubes of lube, tons of lube, truckloads of lube. When you think you have enough lube, add more lube. Make it a part of your foreplay. Lube up your man. Lube up your man's anus. Lube up your anus. Lube up your toys. Have your man lube up your anus. And then lube it up again. Keep that lube within hand reach. Seriously, the interior of the anus is very, very porous. It's going to suck up moisture like a dehydrating camel. And because it's incapable of getting itself wet again, it's up to you and your partner to keep it slipping and sliding. Third, foreplay can go a very long way when it comes to preparing your body and your brain for anal entry. I find a solid orgasm or two before helps me to relax and makes the admittance quite a bit easier. Additionally, make sure you and your partner are both comfortable, including the anus into your foreplay. Analingus, fingering, nothing to shy away from. You can use a condom, you can use a dental dam, you can use mouthwash if you don't want to go that extra, distance. And finally, armed with loads of lube, experiment with your anal intake. Every body is different, and personal experiences are different. The pleasure of an anus is different for every single person. Some people enjoy the pounding sensation of a deeper thrust. Some enjoy the grinding sensation of a deep insertion with shallow thrusts. I've even found that some people enjoy the sensation of having to use the toilet, but of course there are others that do not like this. So really, mix it up a bit to see what works best for you. Part of the discomfort could be just not fully enjoying what's happening and not understanding why. Be sure, again, to communicate about this with your partner or your toys. I don't judge. And if none of these things help you to get the analgasm you're after without discomfort, you may just need a hand to hold. I have too, and I'm very good with them. Anal Viking Wanted asks, I love my husband, but my husband hates being dirty. In-holes are in-holes and out-holes are out-holes. What's the nicest possible way to explain that I desperately want him to fuck me in the ass like a Viking raider? Firstly, AVK, you have me pondering an interesting fan question. What is the ratio of anal fans to Viking fans? What is the overlap here? And secondly, clearly, I should be watching Vikings. And now for the good stuff. The nicest way of asking for something like this is literally just ask. Sex should be fun, and being this forthcoming about it could be a huge turn on. That, or you could make a nice cuppa, sit down with a scone, and ask politely to fornicate in your anus. Remember, pinky out, or in, as it may end up. In all seriousness, though, you're going to want to have a sit down with the hubs about your out-hole being dirty. Because here's the dish on that. It's probably not. I mean, if you're reasonably clean, take a shower regularly, use toilet paper, the likelihood of you leaving a skid mark on his dick is slim to none. And if you discuss it ahead of time, you have time to prep, making for an even cleaner engagement. Have your hubs go back and listen to my anatomy section, because it will help him to understand the deepest, darkest parts of your body. Of course, when it comes to anal, there is always the possibility of getting a little bit dirty. But hey, we're all adults here, and if you're going to play in the danger zone, you need to be prepared. Conversation is key to keeping the brown at bay. Make a butt date so you know when to avoid eating super high fiber foods or super fatty foods. If you want to go the route of an anal rinse or enema, you can. I just don't dig on those. Give yourself a day to prepare. Hydrate, vibrate, and clean yourself thoroughly. Honestly, like I said, a little finger in the bum during bath time never hurt anybody, so long as you consent to yourself. Communication is also going to be a key ingredient in understanding the dirty your husband is afraid of. Is he afraid of messing the bed? Is he afraid of hurting you? Is he afraid of messing his pretty, pretty penis? Is he afraid of bacteria and infection? Is he afraid of confusing something nefarious with chocolate body paint? The great thing about anal is that no matter what, you can get cleaned up. And sometimes, whether it's an issue or not, a shower together can be lots of fun all on its own. So sit down with that man of the house and get to the bottom, see what I did there, of his fear. Give him a helmet and a beer horn and get to the rating. And if he still refuses to conquer your backlands, I have a strap on and can probably grow a mighty beard. Now that I've answered your bad touch questions, let's get serious for a moment. Recently, Teen Vogue published an article regarding anal sex. This is good. This is necessary because teens get most of their sex education from media, porn, and friends. Having a resource that shares proper sex and medical information about hygiene, safety, and the psychology of sex is really fucking important. But there has been a huge backlash against Teen Vogue for providing this information. People have been posting videos of themselves boycotting and burning Teen Vogue for providing the information to teens that will help keep them safe and healthy as they explore their bodies and their pleasures. To this I say, if you see anyone burning Teen Vogue in your area, join them. Stand close and gently push them into the fucking fire. And now for a segment I like to call, For the Love of All Your Holes, Don't Stick That in Your Vagina. Gwyneth Paltrow gets a lot of flack for being Gwyneth Paltrow, and it's well deserved. Her lifestyle website Goop promotes horrible vagina health habits, which makes me wonder if Gwyneth has a vagina or not, or if she knows what a gynecologist is. So today let me address the jade egg. Do not put a jade egg into your vagina. Jade is porous. Jade, once inserted into your hoo-ha, can never be truly cleaned again, unless you have an autoclave, which I promise you do not. Inserting a jade egg into your vagina will allow it to absorb all kinds of good and bad bacteria that keep your vagina healthy. Reinserting that same jade egg later will then add more, now bad, bacteria into your vagina, making way for a plethora of bacterial growth. Say hello to itching, burning, smelling, and wishing you could take your vagina off like a bra at the end of the day. Seriously, don't do this. And if you want to strengthen your pelvic floor, learn to do Kegels without a jade egg, or get some stainless steel Benoit balls. Because balls. And that, as they say, is that, folks. Thank you for joining me for the first episode of Bad Touch. You can read Bad Touch every month in Belladonna Horror Mag, and follow Belladonna Horror Mag on the Twitters at Belladonna_mag. You can follow the Horror Honeys, who graciously allowed me to produce this YouTube video, all by myself, on the Twitters at Horror Honeys. You can even follow me on the Twitters at missbellablitz. I've also been known to hang around the interwebs being generally debaucherous and horrible on Facebook, Instagram, and Tumblr. You can support this YouTube show via the Horror Honeys Patreon at patreon.com/horrorhoneys. And you can send me questions that will always stay anonymous at missbellablitz@gmail.com. Remember, be safe, have fun, and if it's a bad touch, it's probably Bella's.